is Chef Chelsea Marie. Today we're going to be making some more homemade magic. We're going to be making cheddar biscuits today. This is a real nice recipe if you want to get up a little earlier on a Saturday or Sunday morning and rustle up something yummy when you're tired of eating plain old bread all week. Alright, so I have I think about 7 very basic ingredients, all things you have at home. I have some flour, I have some butter, very cool butter here. I have some baking powder, some sugar, some grated cheddar cheese, and I'm going to be using carnation evaporated milk and Maggi onion and garlic cube. Alright, so first things first, I have some flour here and I'm going to just cube this butter very quickly into my bowl with my flour. So you can cut these up. If you don't have butter, you could use some lard. You could actually try this recipe with some margarine, but I love real butter for my biscuits. You are going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and I do have a baking tray over here that's lined with some parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, please just give your tray a nice quick grease. You could use cooking spray or butter to grease your pan. Alright, so I'm almost done cubing up my butter. Then I'm going to add my sugar, my baking powder. I'm not gonna add my cheese just yet. Alright, so before I get my hands good old and dirty in there, I want to measure out my evaporated milk. And I need about 3/4 cup. Alright, that's my 3/4 there. Remove these things to the side. And one more ingredient, I'm going to add 1 of these onion and garlic cubes. I really like a little bit of flavor in my biscuits. You can keep this traditional, but I think this adds a little extra something. Alright, so I've crumbled that up nicely. And I'm just going to put this to the side. Alright, so 3 things you should have now are your flour and butter and seasoning mixture, your grated cheese, and your evaporated milk. So now what I'm going to do is, you guys can come in close and see what I'm doing here. I'm going to start to rub my finger and flour in this motion. Kind of like you're almost pinching it and rubbing at the same time. So you're going to continue to do that until all your butter is broken up. Alright, this will take a few minutes or so. I'll try to do it as fast as I can so you guys can see what I'm doing. What would you serve your biscuits with? Butter? Would you just do jam and butter? Would you put some nice smoked herring or saltfish with your biscuits? That would taste real good. Maybe just some bacon and eggs. That would taste really good too. I know some people like to do this stack with a fork. Like they start to cut the butter and flour together with a fork, but I prefer to use my hands. It's coming together nicely. So what this does is this leaves little chunks of butter in your flour mixture. So it will almost create little pockets. So when your biscuits bake, you get a really fluffy product at the end, which is what you love about biscuits so much, that flaky, buttery melt in your mouth. Mouthfeel. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this recipe is uploaded already on NestleRecipesCaribbean.com. So please check this out. Don't feel limited to just this, the way that I'm seasoning mine today. You could take the cheese out and the onion and garlic cube and maybe do something else. You could put chives and fresh herbs in it. You could make it sweet. You could put cinnamon in it, some nutmeg. Really the possibilities are really endless. Once you understand the technique of what we're doing today, you really can make it your own. Alright, so my flour is looking really good. It's starting to rain by me. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the back, but I hope that you guys are hearing me really clearly. Let me know in the comments. I really want to hear from you guys. Let me know if you guys are hearing me good. Alright, so nice and beady texture. It's almost sand, like clumpy sand if you would. You guys can see what that looks kind of like clumpy sand. Not too many big pieces of butter. You don't want any big pieces. And to this, I'm going to start to add my evaporated milk, and I'm going to add half of my cheese. Okay, so making a little well in the middle, and I'm going to add half of my cheese. Oh, sure, I love to make mess up. Oh. Right, so I'm going to add in my evaporated milk. I'm going to start to give that a good fold. You want to fold this very gently, because you don't want too much gluten to start to develop. Alright, so I'm going to flip this out onto my surface now. A nice clean surface, okay guys? Alright, so I'm going to start to fold very gently. I'm not like folding like you're kneading bread. You're going to just gently fold your biscuit dough over itself until it really comes together. You want it to make a nice, neat little ball. Right? Like you see how it's not, like it looks like almost like it's cracking and falling apart. That's what you want. You don't want it to become this smooth, like if you made the pizza or any of our other recipes, you don't want it to make it like that kind of bread. So I'm gonna make mine, press it out into about a small rectangle. I would say this is about maybe 4 inches by 6 inches. And I'm going to start to cut this into six pieces. Okay, and now I'm going to put my biscuits onto a tray. So sticky. Now we're going to just brush the top of our biscuits with a little bit end of that evaporated milk. That's going to help the tops of our biscuits really brown up and get golden. Alright. Now I'm going to top it very lightly with some more cheese so that you know that these are cheese biscuits. Alright, looking great. So come in and take a peek. I know they look kind of messy, but you really want that home style, buttery, flaky look for your biscuits. So now I'm going to pop these into the oven at 425 degrees for about 12 to 13 minutes. Okay, so it's been 12 minutes. I'm going to take my biscuits out. Oh, yes. With my cheesy, rustic, home-style biscuits, I'm going to try my best. Look how soft they are. They literally are so flaky and buttery. Alright, so hope you guys try this recipe. It's available on NestleRecipesCaribbean.com. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!